A war that lasted 38 minutes, August 27th, 1896. Zanzibar. As the sun rose over the Indian Ocean, the Sultan of Zanzibar lay dead. Inside the palace, incense burned low. Servants whispered. Outside the palace walls, Stonetown woke up, unaware that history was about to move faster than anyone could stop it. A young man stood watching the horizon. His name was Khalid bin Bargash, the Sultan's nephew. Power was vacant, and Khalid moved first. Before the British could act, he seized the palace, declared himself Sultan, and raised his flag above the roof. Nearly 2,800 defenders flooded the compound. Old cannons were dragged into position, aimed toward the harbor. But across the water, the British were already watching. They had a treaty. No sultan could rule Zanzibar without British approval. The message was delivered clearly. Step down. Khalid refused. By early morning, 5 British warships sat anchored in the harbor, their steel hulls silent, their naval guns pointed directly at the palace. This was not negotiation. This was procedure. An ultimatum was issued. Leave the palace by 9 a.m. or face bombardment. Inside the palace, advisors argued. Some begged Khalid to flee. Others swore loyalty. Khalid chose pride. He stayed. The clock ticked down. 9 o'clock arrived. Nothing happened. 9:01. Still nothing. Khalid's flag still flew. At 9:02, a British officer gave the order. Fire. Naval artillery erupted across the harbor. Shells tore into the palace. Wooden doors exploded. Walls collapsed. Fire spread instantly. This was not a battle. It was demolition. Zanzibari cannons fired back, briefly. Within minutes, they were destroyed. Defenders scattered. Smoke swallowed the skyline. Civilians fled the streets. The British barely suffered a scratch. One sailor was injured. At 9:40 a.m., the Sultan's flag fell from the palace roof. The war was already over. As the palace burned, Khalid escaped through a rear entrance, running through narrow alleys thick with smoke. He reached the German consulate, where the gates opened and asylum was granted. Behind him, his rule had lasted less than an hour. When the smoke cleared, nearly 500 Zanzibaris were dead or wounded. That same afternoon, the British installed their chosen sultan. Order returned on British terms. The palace would later be rebuilt. Zanzibar would even bill Britain for the shells used to destroy it. Khalid was eventually surrendered, exiled, and died years later in a foreign land. The Anglo Zanzibar War. 38 minutes, the shortest war in recorded history.